We knew the Cowboys' offense was going to be good. That's no surprise. We wanted to see how healthy Dak Prescott was going to be. Looks like he has put that injury behind him. The questions were on defense. Despite having big names, and it feels like when you play for the Cowboys, you get maybe an overinflated self-worth there because you're like, wow, you start for the Cowboys. Yeah, the defense. Ooh, historically bad last season. But the defense last night was the co-star, an impressive win over the Eagles. 2 interceptions, you had a pick 6, and Jalen Hurts struggled all night long. New defensive coordinator Dan Quinn getting rave reviews, and rightfully so. The offense is outstanding, but if this team is going to go anywhere in the playoffs, the defense is going to play a large role. And Micah Parsons, wherever they line him up, he might be their version of T.J. Watt. Just line him up and let him go. But the Eagles are a rebuilding team, even if they don't admit it. But it seems like a long time ago when Dak Prescott started out 13-3. That was his rookie season. And it felt like Dallas was building towards being a contender. That was 2016. Cowboy fans, got to have your hopes up. Maybe you're headed in the right direction and can finally live up to the hype that's always surrounding this team. And you start to look at their schedule down the road, and I thought that they could be 8-2 after 10 games. They had the loss against Tampa, although they played them pretty well. You win in Los Angeles against a very good Charger team. You blow out the Eagles, and rightfully so. Then you have Carolina, good defense, little better offense than you probably expect. Then you have the Giants. You can win both of those games, though. Those are at home. You're at New England. I don't know what New England's going to look like by then. You're at Minnesota. Your guess is as good as mine as to what kind of Minnesota team shows up there. Denver, new and improved, and then you host Atlanta, and then you're at Kansas City. Okay. You could be 8-2. And I think that if you're a Cowboy fan, you would take that, 8-2. You're in a bad division. Take advantage of it. You shouldn't lose any of those games. Now, you will. You'll get picked off by somebody, but that's where you win those games. And that gives you how many wins this year? 11, 12, maybe 13. You got to get home field advantage here, at least for one game. That's the most important part of all of this. When you start to handicap who's going to the Super Bowl, I start with who's going to have the best record, who's going to have home field advantage, who takes advantage of their division. And that's where Dallas has to take advantage of who they play in their division. Same with the Packers. That's why I thought the Packers were going to go to the NFC title game, because they play in a bad division. Take advantage of that bad division with the Lions and the Bears. Vikings, you're not quite sure what you're getting. Jekyll and Hyde there. But when they're good, they can be really good. But we've seen them be inconsistent. 877-3DP Show. Email address dp@danpatrick.com. Twitter handle @DP Show. McLovin, do you have something for me? By the way, Trayvon Diggs has established himself as a very, very good cornerback around the league. Now, do I think that pick 6 was an amazing, play by him? No. I thought that Devontae Smith cost Jalen Hurts there. He just seems like he's a little more fragile off the line where you can knock him off his path. And that's why, when this first started, when Devontae Smith was going to win the Heisman, and I said to you, I got an NFL scout who said Jamar Chase will be better than Devontae Smith in the NFL. And it caught, a lot of people off guard because he's the Heisman Trophy winner. Jamar Chase didn't even play the previous year. I just said, I'm only going by what the scout has told me. Devontae Smith is having a hard time getting off the line of scrimmage. You can body him a little bit. Jamar Chase is off to a very good start for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Paulie.
If any commentator, any analyst says Devontae Smith isn't big enough to play in the NFL, we have to quash that, because remember when anyone would criticize him for that last spring?
Yeah.
You got lit up. Oh, he's not too small. Don't worry about it. Shut up. He's going to be great. It was people told you to stop even saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know how good he's going to be. I just know he was the difference maker in college football last year, and he deserved the Heisman Trophy. But you almost have to get him in motion where you can't put your hands on him. And I'll talk to Chris Sims about that. He'll join us coming up. How do you use Devontae Smith so you can take advantage of that extra gear he has when he turns the corner? But Jamar Chase is a far more physical, imposing receiver. And you're seeing him once he figured out that there's no white line on the football like it is in college, he seems to be focusing in on catching the football. The first 3 games of the season, scoring touchdowns. What else do you have, McLovin?
Okay, on the Cowboys, what is going to screw them up eventually in the playoffs? Is it going to be Mike McCarthy with a mental error? Is it going to be the officials a la the Des Bryant catch? Or is the defense going to fall apart? Because we know something always happens in the playoffs.
It's hard to have a bad night when you win 41-21, but I think Mike McCarthy had a bad night. Because you're going into halftime and you're going, when Peyton is yelling, Mike, got to call a timeout. Got to get a timeout. I think the official went over to McCarthy just to kind of help him out and go, you going to call a timeout, dude? And then he waved him off, and I went, that's not good, Mike. And most teams have a clock guy. I don't know if Dallas does, where they go, okay, take the timeout now, then we'll wait, and then we'll take a timeout here. I'm watching last night. Felt like Mike McCarthy knew as much as I did. And I'm going, Mike, call a timeout. And then Peyton goes, Mike, call a timeout. Yeah, McLovin.
Andy Reid was famously the worst
Yes,
at this. And
yes.
McCarthy, I think, is a mentee of Andy Reid. They need a clock guy. Then they eventually hired a clock guy.
Because what Peyton said makes a lot of sense. Hey, we're going to call a timeout. I want to show my offense that I have so much confidence in them. We're going to get one more chance before the end of the first half. Now, I know it's not a big deal because you won, but to me it's a big deal. Sometimes it's a microcosm. When it comes down to, is my coach going to out-coach your coach? I don't know that if I'm a Cowboys fan. You want the offense to be supported. You want to have all that confidence to say, hey, guys, I'm going to get the ball back. Let's go in and score again. It's almost like Mike McCarthy was saying, no, we're good. No, let's just go into halftime. Small thing, but small things lead up to a big game when you have a big moment like that. And how much confidence are you going to have?